Give it up for Derek Stein on cello.
Good evening, and welcome to the ALS Association Community Cares Auction. My name is Ryan Resnick. I'm the Executive Director of the ALS Association Western Pennsylvania chapter, and also joined tonight by former Executive Director Merritt Spear. We're really excited to have you all here tonight joining us, because tonight is a night to unite for the ALS community. What we're doing here together is going to raise critical funds that will support people living with ALS all throughout Western Pennsylvania and around the world.
I am so pleased to be here, Ryan. And
glad to have you.
Many of you know I retired in 2018, and I could not be more honored to be sitting in this seat tonight and to have been asked to be here tonight. I've kind of kept my finger on the pulse of the ALS Association, but the first thing I really want to do is acknowledge Ryan and his team and the board of directors at the Western Pennsylvania chapter, because you came along at a great time, Ryan, and you couldn't be doing a better job.
Thank
and
you.
I am so proud of all of you, and it's a thrill for me to be able to now sit in the position of volunteer and donor, and yet be so proud of the work that you're doing and what you're doing for our ALS community. I can think of no better organization to give to and to support, and tonight's going to be a really fun night.
Indeed it will. Thank you. Those are really kind words.
I mean it.
So a couple of housekeeping items before we get started. To get us kicked off, I want to let you know that on the bottom of your screen, you'll see that there's a URL. If you haven't registered already, please click on that and register so you can participate in the auction as the evening goes on. Additionally, I should mention that once you get registered, you'll receive an email to the email address you put in. You'll need to go in and confirm your account before you can start the bidding. So be sure to check it out. If it's not in there, you might want to check your spam folder just to be on the safe side. Number two, I want to mention that through Monday at noon, we had an early registration incentive going. That was to get people registered so they could participate in the auction. And really excited to announce that Natalie Lasky is the winner of our incentive.
Yay,
She wins a $100
Natalie.
Visa gift card. So thank you,
Way to
Natalie,
go.
for registering early. Also, throughout the night, we want to hear from you. So we're asking you, if you're posting on social media, to use the hashtag #OurALSCommunity. That's our ALS community. So put that into your post. Tell people what you're doing. Get them to jump on board and start bidding as well. You might say, no, I don't want to do that because I want to get my bid and I want to get my item, but we want more people, and I know you do too. Before we get started, though, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. We've got a handful of folks that have really stepped up to help make sure tonight could happen. First up, we have Interim Healthcare, Laurel Medical Solutions, Wells Creek Station and Listy Catering Service, Steiny Electric and Refrigeration, and a special thanks to tonight's media partner, MediaQuest, who's making this all happen tonight for us.
Well, we couldn't do it without those precious sponsors. It helps ensure that the money that is being spent on this auction all goes to help the respite care programs of the ALS Association Western Pennsylvania chapter. It is National Family Caregiver Appreciation Month. So we're really focusing tonight on our respite care programs.
Yep.
And one of the caregivers that Ryan and I would like to introduce you to right now, her name is Nancy Diener. We both are friends of hers. We've both known her. She is a caregiver extraordinaire, and she's been willing to share her story with you tonight, so you know how important it is, the donations you're making tonight, where they're going and what they're doing. Unfortunately, Nancy lost her husband about a year ago, but she was kind enough to make this video tonight for us, and here's her story.
Hello, my name is Nancy Diener. My husband Richard had a form of ALS called PLS, primary lateral sclerosis. The ALS Association was very helpful and supportive as he went through his difficulties. They provided more and more services, and we're eternally grateful for those services. I was able to attend the Powerful Tools for Caregivers class, which was very beneficial and gave me the opportunity to meet with other caregivers, which is part of the family that ALS is. We also utilized the caregiver retreat, which enabled me to recharge my batteries so that I was a better caregiver for my husband. Through the respite care grant from the ALS Association, I was able to continue to work. If I hadn't been able to work, I would have been at home, and financially, we would have been destitute. And without health care, without an income, we just would not have done as well as we could with the respite care that was provided. The respite care grant is available to families who fall through the cracks. We were both working, we both had good incomes before PLS happened in our home, but after, we didn't qualify for many of the programs that are available to other families. The respite care program provided needed funding so that we were able to cover the time that I needed to be at work and feel comfortable with his care. The respite care program provides families with a couple of tiers of care. $3,000 for non-skilled and $5,000 for skilled care. When Marie first contacted me about applying for this grant, I was hesitant. It's hard to accept help from other people, but it's also very necessary. Marie was helpful through the process. She let me know that the paperwork was easy to fill out and that she would help me along the process in any way that I needed her, and it was very easy. During the course of his disease, we utilized respite care also for personal benefit for me. I was able to get away, to go to the ALS walk, to get out and maybe get a pedicure or my hair cut. As a caregiver, that's something that you let go, you let yourself go. And the respite care services allowed me to do what I needed to do so that I could take care of my husband in a better fashion. ALS comes to a family without any warning, and the financial implications are great. And the ALS Association and the support that they provide through the respite care program is essential to families who fall through the cracks. ALS took a vibrant man and made him dependent on the village it took to take care of him. Due to COVID, state funding has significantly been delayed. Thus far this year, the ALS Association has received only 5 months of the allocated funding that they are to receive. This funding is vitally important to families as we depend on the caregiving funds provided by the respite care program. I urge you to please give generously so that caregivers get the needed breaks they need to be able to provide the best possible care to patients living with ALS. From the patients and caregivers of families suffering with ALS, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
What an incredible testimony that is to you guys and to the chapter. While it breaks my heart, it breaks my heart even more to know that there are about 350 other stories just like that throughout Western Pennsylvania. The silver lining in all of that is that this chapter reaches 97% of all families living with ALS in the Western Pennsylvania community. And that is better than any other chapter in the country. So good job, and I'm so glad that we're reaching that many people. It's just sad that there are that many people in need. And I think the thing that touches me most about that video and Nancy was her statement about how our respite care grant allowed her to take care of herself.
Right.
And that in turn helped her be a better caregiver for her husband.
That's right. I mean, that's really what we're trying to do, is make sure that the whole family is taken care of, not just the person living
Absolutely.
with ALS. I mean, she said that ALS comes to a family without warning, and I think that's the best way of saying it. And I think that's also the best reason for you to think about giving tonight and to bid or to make a donation, because truly, we need those funds to help those families because it was unexpected. And I think most of you know it's about $250,000 a year to help somebody living with ALS. So that's a huge financial burden that's really unexpected for most families. Additionally, I should mention that one of the reasons we're doing this tonight is because we have been receiving state funding for nearly 10 years now. Unfortunately, the state budgeting looks a little different due to COVID this year, and as of right now, we've only been able to secure 5 months of what we secured last year, and so that's $200,000 down from what we did last year. That plays a big role in how we provide our respite care. So that's why tonight is so important. So I think let's switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see if we can maybe get some folks to open up their pocketbooks to us.
That's a good idea.
I'm going to mention real quick that if you did already pre-register, you should have just received a text and an email, and that will make it easy for you to make a donation, which we're going to talk about here in a moment. But Merritt, what do you say? Let's get this kicked off.
All right, so we've got this special appeal thing going. But I kind of, in my experience as a fundraiser and as executive director, I always got the feeling that, it's not comfortable to ask for money a lot of the time, but it is a natural feeling to want to give. And a lot of people want to give just to give. They don't expect something in return. They don't want something in return. I'm actually one of those people. And I just like giving because, especially to this organization, because I know where my money is going, I know how it's being spent, and I know the impact it has. So I'm going to switch this up and call this a little raise the paddle auction. And we are going to get your fingers on the donate button right now because we're going to move fast and furious through these various giving levels. Know that you're going to raise your paddle and give an amount that's going to make a direct impact, positive impact on people living with ALS. And I am committing right now, right here to you and to the world that I am donating $1,000 right here, right now.
What a way to get us kicked off. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And to make it even better and more challenging, I'm asking 2 of you to join me right away, tick, if we can raise $3,000 in the next couple minutes here, we can provide one family with a respite care grant.
That's
3,000. If we can get 5, we get skilled nursing care in the home for a family that needs it. But we already have one.
Oh my gosh, it's Sue George, our friend.
Oh, I love Sue. Thank you, Sue. I hope you're out there. I worked with Sue. She was on the board of directors when I was the executive director. She was one of our very best and most active advocates nationally and locally in Harrisburg.
She's just absolutely incredible, and
she is.
So blessed to have her as part of our community. So absolutely.
Sue lost her husband, Fred, to ALS.
Yeah, unfortunately. So I think, going back to your point, if we can get one more person now to make a $1,000 gift.
We're almost at 3.
We'll have 3. That would cover one full grant for 6 months for somebody to have in-home care, thanks to what we're able to offer from the ALS Association.
Could somebody spread out their payments if they wanted to? So
absolutely.
You could commit to $1,000 and pay quarterly or something like that?
Absolutely. Monthly gift, that can also work.
That also works.
Excellent. We'll keep going. We're hoping that there's somebody out there, one other generous person that's going to join Sue and Merritt and get to that $1,000 level. We know there's somebody out there, and we're hoping that you're listening.
Dip your toe in the pool. It's fine. The water's fine.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next level then. Our next level is $750. And Merritt, that would pay for 30 hours of unskilled care for an individual living with ALS, which is a ton of time.
Yeah, it's a good amount of time.
But it could also pay for one smart home installation. We've been talking about this a lot.
Yeah.
Right as you were leaving, we started this program, but we now have a program where we can provide smart home technology setups for families in their home. If you were on our bidding site over the last couple of days prior to today, you would have seen a video with a gentleman named Stephen and his wife, Misha. Stephen and Misha really kind of embraced this program. His whole house is decked out. He has an area he calls the cockpit,
that's awesome.
where he can control everything in his home. And we were able to donate, we donated a lot of those items to him to use. What's incredible is that Misha says that she's able to work full time because they have that. They're able to communicate with each other. He can allow people in the house and see who's there. So there are just so many opportunities.
Look what we have.
Oh my gosh, we got our third one.
We have to go back a little bit. We have a third $1,000 from Jason Riley.
Thank you, Jason. That's really incredible.
And a $750. We already have a $750 anonymous donor. But I was going to say that smart technology in a year like we've just had, and allowing people to work from home and, still have, some independence for the person that they're taking care of is huge.
Yeah, it makes a world of difference for these folks.
I mean, they can see who's at the door. They can adjust the temperature in the house. They can turn it off and on the television, and they don't have to bother.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
I love that, the cockpit. That's great.
It's so much independence for those individuals. Well, let's go ahead and move on from $750, but if you want to, we'd love for you to make a $750 gift. It will make a huge impact on families in Western Pennsylvania.
We're moving quickly, but you can still put in that $1,000 or $750.
Please do. All right, our next level is $500. Do we have anyone out there that's willing to give $500? I should mention that $500 would cover 20 hours of unskilled care in the home. That's
a
half
lot
a
of
week
hours.
for somebody, and that is a lot of hours because our program oftentimes supplementing other ways that people are receiving care in the home. Additionally, it could also fund 1 year of our caregiver support program. It covers the cost of our staffing for 1 year, for 2 to 3 of those each year. So $500 can go a long way to help the association.
Nadine Purcell, thank you so much.
Nadine, you're an incredible volunteer.
God bless you, Nadine.
She's been involved with us for 20 years. She lost her father to ALS. Actually, it's been 20 years this year, she was telling us.
They're coming in fast and furious, folks. Roseanne Saunders, thank you very much.
Roseanne, that's really incredible. I'm sure that's in memory of Martin. She lost her husband, Martin, just about a year ago this month. And we're really grateful for your continued support of the chapter. So thank you. Why don't you join these two women and help us by making a $500 gift right now? All you have to do is go onto the website and make that gift.
All right, should we move on then?
Let's go on to the next one.
All right, our next level is $250. Now, Ryan has a demonstration to show you the very cool thing that $250 can buy.
So $250 not only would buy 25 hours of respite care, but it could also purchase one of these. It is an auto-leveling utensil. So as an individual starts to lose their dexterity with their hand, it never loses its balance. It's got a little gyroscope in there. What's great about this piece is that you can replace this spoon right now, but I can pop it off. There's a fork attachment that I can put on. So this really is a game changer for a lot of individuals, and your $250 gift could help us to purchase something like this for an individual. Who would have thought that a spoon or a fork could change somebody's life? And it could, not only is for the person living with ALS, but their caregiver, so they can sit down and eat with them.
Yep.
It makes so much difference.
It provides this feeling of independence for the person living with ALS is like one of the most important things there is. And what we specialize in and what you guys are doing so well is finding the tools like that that give someone living with ALS a feeling and a source to be independent longer. And we know how important that is. And while I'm saying this, I am watching all of these donations come in. We can't keep up. We've got $500 from Joyce Phillips. Thank you so much. $500 from Mike Fleming. Thank you so much.
I don't know if you met Mike. Mike is going to be joining our board come February.
There you go. Well, good for you, Mike. That's a good start. Board members should do that. Great for you. And $250 from Lana Ott.
And Lana, as I recall, lost her husband William to ALS. Yes, so thank you for making that gift in his memory.
Thank you, generous people. Thank you so much.
So keep on giving. But
Don't stop.
Let's move on to our last level, which is $100. But this just in.
There's a twist.
There's a twist. We have an incentive. So anyone who's giving at the $100 level will receive a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. What a great time of the year to get that, huh?
Perfect.
Getting ready to do some shopping for the holidays. Maybe you've had your eye on some of that smart home technology we talked about. You can go ahead and purchase those things.
The other thing you can do through Amazon is purchase through Amazon Smile, which is I do.
Oh, yeah.
And it really is just the same as Amazon, except that they give a portion of without taking it out of the amount due, whatever you've purchased, they give a little proceed to the charity of your choice. And of course, I always choose this charity. But you can use your Amazon card, Smile. And I'm smiling right now because
I know that name.
My husband just gave $250. Thank you, sweetie. I really appreciate that.
How great. Oh, and Jason Riley gave $100. Thank you, Jason.
What's he doing? He's
We
just
appreciate-
pouring out the money.
Just
tonight.
giving all the money away,
He's got his wallet
apparently.
open.
Oh, we also have Scooter's Bunch, one of our walk teams led by Lindsay Litterini, another soon-to-be board member that's
Awesome.
joining us.
Oh, good.
Lindsay's just been an incredible new volunteer for the chapter, and we're so thankful to have her on board. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's wonderful.
Do we have any other names coming in? Amy, I see the names. I see you getting back there typing.
We do have our development manager, Amy, back there. Amy
Hackemer Olsen.
Amy Hackemer. I always want to call her Hackemer. She just got married.
Look at Carol's
crew.
Amy Shaughnessy and family, thank you so much.
I remember Carol really well from the very first walk. So Amy Shaughnessy's on the board, and her mother-in-law passed away from ALS, but was living when I was an executive director. And the first team they had at the walk, I don't know how many thousands of people showed up, to honor Carol, but it was a huge amount of people. I mean, they had the biggest walk team there that year.
I've seen the pictures. I don't even know how they got them all into one camera shot.
Oh, Karen Dunn. Hi, Karen.
Karen, incredible advocate.
miss
She's
you.
been to all kinds of different advocacy events for us, advocating to get funds and move policies forward to help people living with ALS. We should mention she's also the team captain
She
for Miles
is.
for Melissa.
Miles for
her
Melissa.
good friend Melissa. So, and our friend Dave Tinker, team captain of Dig Dug. Thank you so much for your gift. We appreciate it. And thanks for your ongoing and continued support. We really appreciate it.
Oh, Nancy.
Oh, Nancy,
We just
Diener.
played your video, and it was fantastic. And I miss you, and I love you.
Thank you so much, Nancy. We appreciate it. Oh, and Doug Mills. Oh, Doug made a gift in memory of his wife, Debbie. So thank you, Doug. We really appreciate your gift and your ongoing support of the chapter.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This is really fun to watch.
All right, folks, keep giving. $100 and you get entered, but you have to make that gift before we wrap up here tonight. So you've only got minutes left, really, to get that gift in. So, well, let's go ahead and move on. I know that people are going to continue to give, but I know you and I talked a little bit, and we wanted to highlight some of our auction items.
Yes, we definitely want to. So we're going to switch to the auction or the actual bidding on the items. And I think I'm going to start with the first one, which is Dinner for Four with Rick Seaback.
That's exciting.
So I don't know if probably none of you know my past, but I was actually an associate producer at WQED, and that's where I met Rick Seaback and started to work as an associate producer on his History of Pittsburgh programs. He is an absolutely incredible guy. I'm sure you know him. I'm sure you've seen him. He has a huge presence on social media, obviously a huge presence nationwide through PBS programming, as well as here locally at WQED. He did a wonderful documentary on Fred Rogers recently. He is one of the best storytellers that I know. He also has a vinyl record collection in the hundreds of thousands of records. Same with his book collection. And every Thursday night, he is spinning tunes at the Independent Brewing Company. And that's where you're going to have dinner and drinks with Rick. And the bid right now is only at $350, and I don't think that's enough.
I mean, this is priceless. You'd have to be his friend, basically.
It is absolutely priceless, and you are going to have the best time. Rick is funny. He's very interested in learning, and also telling stories about, funny stories about his experiences. And I mean, he did diners, drive-ins, and dives before, what's his name?
Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri did. He knows everything there is to know about a hot dog, a sandwich, a pie, you name it. You can talk to him about everything you want.
And what's great about him and the pieces that he's put together is, a lot of it is maybe Pittsburgh-centric, but it really does kind of cover our whole region, Western Pennsylvania, and even some of the documentaries he did cover the whole state and beyond. So it's package number 3.
Bridges, buildings, yeah.
So
bid high on that one, because he's a good friend of mine, and he'll be you'll have a great time.
All right, well, why don't we move on to the next
Okay.
one? I actually have it here with me. It's a sailboat mosaic. It's package number 45, and it was donated. It's handmade by Debbie Jackman, and she donated this. And unfortunately, Debbie lost her husband to ALS, but one of the things they did together was they did stained glass. And that's where this piece came together. But there's even more significance to this. She decided that she wanted to do a sailboat because they said they felt like they oftentimes were lost at sea after they had been diagnosed. And in many ways, Debbie said that it was the ALS Association that put the wind back in their sails and helped them to get back to some normalcy. So I just love this piece. I think it's beautiful. It's currently only at $100. This is a one-of-a-kind piece.
Handmade.
Yeah, it's handmade. It's beautiful. So I encourage you to get on there and bid. Again, it's package number 45.
She has her own shop.
She does, yeah. So she's got Songbird Artistry. She owns it with her two daughters. It's over in Bloomfield. Both her daughters do different types of crafts from what she does. And there's also 20 other craft makers from the Pittsburgh region who are making gifts. So anytime you're over in Bloomfield, I would say definitely give them a check.
By.
And they also have certain items that a small portion come back to the chapter. So you can go shop, get a beautiful piece of art, and also make a difference.
All right, I'm going to talk about the Virginia. Yes.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. The Virginia Wine Tour. This Virginia Winery Tour it's item number 7. It's been donated by Scott and Carol Steinkirchner. And I want to talk about them for a second because, and then I'll take a sip of my lovely wine here. But they are two of the most wonderful, down-to-earth, fun people I have ever met. Scott has traveled the world. He's a hiker. He's done some really interesting trips, like to Tibet,
India,
and
he and his
all
daughter
kinds
just
of
hiked part of the Appalachian Trail
they're
in the midst of COVID.
Yeah, but they put together a package that is quite fancy, and you do whiskey tasting and wine tasting, and you go to a magnificent restaurant in Leesburg, Virginia for dinner, and you stay at a really gorgeous hotel, probably one of those like where George Washington slept kind of places. If you've ever been to Leesburg, Virginia, you know what an adorable town it is. But I've always said back to caregiving. Mm-hmm. One of the things about caregiving, I think, is you kind of have to have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
If you can't laugh, you know what they say. If you can't laugh,
yourself.
you'll cry. So I will say that Scott is a very funny guy. He has really funny stories to tell, even about when he was caring for his mother with ALS. He's got a very good story involving a jelly bean. So if you win this, you're going to have him tell his story about the jelly bean. In the meantime, we want to show you a little video about what you're going to be riding around in for this Virginia Wine Tour.
Hi everybody, my name is Renee Ventrise and I own Cork and Keg Tours with my husband Don. We are so honored to be a part of the ALS auction and hope whoever wins gets to have a beautiful day in wine country with us. As you can see, this is a very luxurious looking limousine, Sprinter van, and we take you to all the wonderful spots in Loudoun County, wineries, breweries, distilleries, and you get full concierge services and planning services along the way. So best of luck bidding in this auction, and whoever wins, we're looking forward to tasting the memories with you. Cheers!
Okay, it looks like John Letitia is winning that at $800 right now. So if you want that Virginia wine tour.
We've got 2 of those, so our top 2 bidders can go. And them and
It's a party.
It is a party.
It's a party.
On Renee's party bus that we just saw.
That's all right. All right, what's next?
Next up is our Hail to Pitt package. It's number 13. I'm holding right here a signed basketball from head coach Capel. The head coach and his brother Jason lost their dad to ALS a few years ago, who was also a collegiate basketball coach. So there's a lot of basketball history in that family, but since they came to Pittsburgh, they've been just wonderful supporters of the chapter. They provided this basketball along with a package of other Pitt goodies and 4 tickets to an upcoming game when we can get back to going to games. And you may even have a chance to meet them. Just really, really incredibly great people.
You'll have to go like this. Hi.
Yeah, they're very tall.
I did the CEO talk with them a couple of years ago, and I stood right next to this guy. There's a picture of me. I'm like here. He's like way up here.
Jeff is tall.
Christy Kolarsek, of course.
Of course she is. Working at Pitt.
She's winning it right now.
H2P.
Hi, Christy.
Well, Christy, I hope you get it, but I also hope somebody continues to bid and drives these prices up.
Yeah, because it's only $150, and it's worth more than that.
Absolutely. So again, package number 13. What else do we have?
Well, this one speaks straight to my heart. I'm going to tell you right now because I like wine and I like food, as you can see. So this is the Ultimate Wine and Charcuterie Package number 23. And I want to hold something up here because this is a magnificent cutting board. I'm going to hold it here so it hides my fat. And it is designed by our own Amy Olson, who picked the wood color, the types of wood. It literally feels like velvet. We'll sanitize it before we send it to you, and my fingers are all over it. But so Amy designed this. And what I love most about this whole package is that it's like the entire ALS community came together to make this happen. There are 3 bottles of wine.
Donated by 3 different people, I believe.
Okay. Okay. I could throw in a bottle of wine too, actually. Charcuterie from Allie Marie, and 2 custom painted wine glasses from Amanda Lee Glassware. So it is a beautiful package. I kid you not, this is one of the most beautiful cutting boards I've ever seen, and Dave and I have a large collection of cutting boards.
That's not something you're going to get at a store. I mean, it's literally custom made.
It's custom made. It's beautiful, and Amy designed it herself, which makes it even more special. So, bid high on this. The current bid right now is only $220. 3 good bottles of wine is more than that. So let's go, people. Bid high and bid often on that.
And then invite Merritt and I over
and then,
for some
yes,
charcuterie
please have
and wine.
us over for wine and charcuterie.
So those were just 5 of the over 40 different packages that we had available. We wanted to highlight, especially because a lot of them have a direct connection back to our ALS community, and we'll just touch upon those. I also would be remiss if I didn't remind you that we do have a swag store going as part of the auction. So at the bottom, if you scroll past all the packages, there are face masks, there's a hooded sweatshirt, there's a crew neck sweatshirt, there's a tumbler, there's a pin. Face mask. There's so many different things you can order. Yeah, they're all there.
Everything you need for winter.
That's right. So we're going to encourage you, if you want some ALS gear, I mean, the holidays are coming. Do you have that loved one that really wants to support? A portion of the proceeds will come back to us. So please take a look at those. All right, so it looks like we've got some numbers coming through right now.
Wow. They're being updated.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh. What? All right, so we are currently between bids and the donations that were made and our sponsors at $30,350.
Wow.
That puts us less than $5,000 away from our goal. We wanted to hit 35. You all are making this happen. This is incredible.
Yeah. As we speak, like it just changed.
Went up. Literally, there was a different number on there, and as we were getting ready to say it, it changed. Oh my gosh.
We can't thank you enough.
We can't. I also would be remiss if we didn't take a moment to say thank you to all of the donors of the items that are out there for auction, but also the committee that came together very last minute, made up of members of both the Pittsburgh and the Johnstown Walk committees, and they went out and they really hustled to get a lot of these items. So thank you for doing this and helping us to bring more revenue in so we can help more families living with ALS.
This has been a really, really good time. And I want to speak from the heart and say to you who are bidding and giving that now as an outsider a little bit, but again, so proud to be a volunteer. But as a donor especially, I want to speak to you and let you know that this chapter is a finely tuned machine. I know the people working behind the scenes. I know the people on the board. I know Ryan. I know what the budget looks like, and I know where the money goes. And I personally would not give to an organization and continue to give if I didn't feel very secure in the fact that they were good stewards of my donor dollars. And I know 100% that your donations tonight are going to make a huge impact and a positive impact on the families in the 31 counties of Western Pennsylvania that this chapter serves. And again, I am just so proud and honored to be here.
Thank you. It's been thrilling to have you here.
It's been a lot of fun.
Before we wrap up, we're going to switch gears. It's been a little bit of a weird year, and we've got a nice little presentation. It's hashtag Our ALS Community, and we're just going to show you some of the images that happened over the last year and how we came together. Because throughout the difficulties of 2020, our community's persevered and overcome many new challenges. However, one thing hasn't changed. We've stayed united and focused on our common goals to help those living with ALS. You know, one of the guiding principles of the ALS Association is that people with ALS and their families come first in everything we do. And your generosity will allow the chapter to continue providing support that will ensure our ALS community has the resources needed to address the needs of every person's journey. I can promise you that participation tonight, as Merritt said, will have a direct impact on our families in our area served by the Western Pennsylvania chapter. But funds raised will also help people around the globe as the entire association unites to fund research that will lead to treatments and one day a cure. The Community Cares auction will remain open until 8 p.m. tonight, so please continue to bid knowing your contributions are going to make a difference to people all throughout Western Pennsylvania and around the world. All right, with that, I think we're going to wrap things up.
We're going to wrap it up, but that doesn't mean your job is done.
That's right.
You still have over an hour or an hour or so?
About an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half
yeah.
to keep bidding. We want you to bid high, bid often, keep those donations coming in. It has been a rough year, especially rough on those with deadly disease, who are living with deadly diseases already. ALS, unfortunately, is one of those diseases. And every dollar counts in a big way. And from my heart, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your support. I really do.
It's true. We really do appreciate all the support that you all are providing tonight. Merritt, thank you so much for coming back and joining me, coming out of retirement, and the two of us getting together and doing this, having a little wine, telling people why they're so important to us. I really appreciate you coming here this evening.
I love being involved, and I'm not going anywhere. So we can do this again in 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
We'll be back. No, kidding. So I want to make one last plug. You can make a donation. You still have a few minutes left before we wrap this up. You could make that $100 donation and be entered into get a gift card to Amazon. And also remember, as Merritt just said, you have until 8 p.m. to continue bidding. We will shut down at 8 p.m. promptly. So you've got an opportunity to go ahead and still bid up those items. There's some really great deals on there still. So please give and be generous with your giving. Finally, I just want to say, join us on December 10th at 6 p.m. We're moving our holiday party to a virtual event. We're calling it a fireside chat. We'll honor our annual award winners, talk a little bit about some of the accomplishments of the chapter of the year. We've got a couple of surprises up our sleeve, too, that are going to be sure to be a lot of fun. So we hope that you'll join us for that video presentation on December 10th. But with that, again, please keep giving. Thank you for all that you do for our community. This has been a lot of fun. Keep on bidding.
Click, click, click. Donate, donate, donate.
And have a great evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye-bye.